We live?
We can't hear you, Papa.
Oh shoot! What?
Okay,
Start that over. Let's try that again. We are live, folks. What is up, y'all? It's your boy Blackwing 2040. Welcome to the live full discussion of Disney's Investor Day. Today, I have one of my best friends with me. Go on ahead and introduce yourselves.
So I would start with my man Nick up there first. So go ahead and tell him who you are.
I don't know who Nick is. Wherever the card is that has my name on it. My name is Angelo Carter. I am the icon, the Don, the legend, the cult of personality, Mr. Money and Magic. Pro wrestling man.
Yes.
You know, things like that. That's me. I'm Angelo.
I totally forgot how long that intro is, but I forgot how I loved it so much. Mm-hmm. And of course, the guru of Star Wars himself, the guy who got me into watching The Mandalorian in the first place, Mr. Denny B. Wren.
Well, it's actually, I translated to Denzel B. Wren now. It sounds like a better name. You know, it just sounds Denzel B. Wren. Okay, but anywho, yes, I'm a Star Wars nerd, Marvel nerd, 90% Marvel nerd, but 100% Star Wars nerd. So as you can see, my room here, and yeah. So
we literally just got done telling him how much we like. I adore that. Like,
I'm about to go over to his place and rob his whole nerd cave.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you go ahead and do that. This is like 2 or 3 months worth of rent. This collection. So yeah.
Like I said, I just want to come over and rob his whole collection already. Yeah, so Disney just threw a whole huge curveball at us this past Thursday, because originally how this happened, one of my podcast friends was like, "Oh, keep an eye out for December 10th because Disney's gonna drop about the mature content for Disney Plus." I was like, all right, I'm keeping low expectations about this, and right. They did announce adult section, but it wasn't for us. It wasn't even for us. It's for international audiences only. But sooner or later, we may get a little something. So that's one thing we could look forward to. But we got a lot of stuff to cover because again, this stuff that was just revealed, like I was just overwhelmed by so much of all the stuff that was shown. So yeah. I guess we could start off with the first thing, like how I just previously mentioned, the international mature content or streaming platform known as Star. This is basically going to have all the mature content like Deadpool, Aliens, Old Man Logan, anything that's rated R. That's going to be available to international audiences, and it will go launch on February 23rd, 2021, the day right after my birthday. How nice. So overall, how do you guys feel about, the announcement of that particular, brand?
Now, Star is what again? It's
basically like it's like a kind of like an expansion for the platform for international audiences.
Okay. It look like the Gospel Channel Daystar. That's why I say, wait, is that with Disney? I was confused. Like, wait, what?
Oh my gosh!
Differently. Okay, I just want to clear that out. All right.
But overall, what do you guys think about this? I mean, the fact that Disney Plus is now deciding to give a mature section. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, is this like for all of Disney Plus, or is this just for international market?
For now, international. I don't know if they have plans to give this to the U.S. market as of yet.
Okay. I mean, for international markets, so here in the U.S., now I'm not sure if this is a thing outside of the U.S. as well, but we have access to Hulu, right?
Right.
And Disney owns Hulu, so Disney could just put their mature content on Hulu. It's a lot easier for them to do that there. And I'm not sure how easy it is for them to do that outside of the US. So this may actually be something as a, like an alternative for people outside who aren't obviously for people in countries that aren't, the United States or whatnot. So it makes sense. I mean, on Hulu. I'm sure that in the future, the Deadpool movies will be put on Hulu, because right now I think they're on Amazon Prime or whatever, or something like that. But I'm sure in the future, we'll get them on Hulu, and the more mature movies in Disney's back library, which now consists of Fox properties and 21st Century Fox things, and your more mature even comic book movies like Logan that you had mentioned, that could go to Hulu, and on this, in international markets, it can go to. It's called Star Plus, right?
It's just called Star.
Or Star, yeah. So Star, it'll go there. So I mean, it makes sense. It gives people a way to watch the more mature content, and who knows? I'm sure we'll get into this later. A certain lawyer may be coming back in future content, and it may be able to go to Star. Where we may get it on Hulu, it'll go to Star for them. So who knows?
Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
Matt Murdock. Just clear that up.
I was trying to be, I was trying to be subtle about it. I wasn't trying to.
But what? All right. What about you, Denzel? What do you think?
I'm the same thing. What Angelo just said. They have all the matured stuff coming on to Star. I'm about to say Star Plus. Star. It's
like Star Plus. That's what it looks like.
You're putting plus everything at the end. Like, no, I agree with everything that he said. So that's
Okay, so now we can move on to the nitty gritty of stuff. We're pretty much. I guess we could start off with the Disney Television Studio stuff that's been announced. So apparently, 2 beloved Disney properties have been announced. It's a Beauty and the Beast, pretty much a working title, which will star Luke Evans and Josh Gad, and will have music composed by Disney legend Alan Menken, who has, composed a lot of pretty much majority of the Renaissance era Disney films. And you also have Ron Moore and John M. Chu will do a reimagining of the classic Swiss Family Reunion. I have no idea what that is, actually. And additionally, the studio is currently developing a Percy Jackson and the Olympians series. Now, hopefully with that, I mean, I don't know if you guys are Percy Jackson fans. Are you guys into Percy Jackson at all?
I saw one movie. It was decent. It was all right.
When I was younger, I actually read maybe one of the books, and I was like, yeah, this is a no. So I really did try. I read one. I fully finished one of the books, and actually, you know what? I think I finished a few of the books, but I was never that big of a fan. I just really liked reading, so I was like, why not?
Gotcha. I mean, to be honest, I've only read the first 2 books in the series. I tried many times to read the 3rd book, and just because I only read them because they were movies about them. So now that the fact that they're having a TV series about it, I don't know if they're going to be starting all over again from book 1. We'll see. And for all you Mighty Duck fans,
really quick, before you move on,
sure.
I want to address the Beauty and the Beast series.
Yes,
that's interesting. I mean, do they do a Beauty and the Beast series from, that's a retelling of the original Beauty and the Beast story? Is it a Beauty and the Beast series that is after the original story that takes place in, their day-to-day life? That's interesting to me. I'm not going to watch it. Sorry, Disney. I'm sorry.
But and also for me, I'm just tired of all the little Disney remakes that they're doing.
Yeah,
it's I don't know. I just get after watching Mulan this past weekend.
I still haven't watched it yet. I still plan on watching it.
It's not even worth it.
It's okay, but all I just need is my Mushu, and some of the acting was a little bit wood in that movie, and the action scenes were good, but it's I
mean, we just got a Beauty and the Beast live action 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when Disney first started on their live action retelling of their classic stories or whatever. So we just got this.
Right.
What is this going to be? So of course they've only announced this much information, and we'll probably get more information a year from now. But I just think that's very interesting.
Yep. I mean, I think Well, since it says it's starring Luke Evans and Josh Gad, I guess is only focusing on Gaston and his sidekick character.
Possibly.
Yeah, so I guess I guess you could say it's kind of like a spin-off show in a way. So a few things that they announced for all you Mighty Duck fans, there is going to be a Disney Plus series called Mighty Ducks Game Changers, which picks up where the films left off. I'm not really a big Mighty Ducks fan, so anybody who's into Mighty Ducks, cheers to you.
I'll check that out. All right.
I don't think we need to cover the National Geographic stuff because
some of it's not boring.
Yeah, some of it's not boring. Of course, a few stuff that was announced by for Hulu. It was announced that its eagerly anticipated season 4 premiere. The Handmaid's Tale would be renewed for a 5th season, so that sounds awesome. And additionally, Nicole Kidman will star in 9 Perfect Strangers, which she executive produced, which is very interesting. And for FX, there's going to be a live-action first Alien series adaptation, so that is going to be very interesting.
And me and my friend was talking about this. I wonder how Disney's going to handle the horror faction in the Disney world, because I was thinking about the Blade movie, because Blade deals with vampires and all that stuff. So I wonder in the Disney parks, will they have like something scary and intense for the children? I don't know, but
remember, that's why I had mentioned that because Disney owns Hulu, Disney can put all their mature horror content right on there,
right,
and they don't have to touch Disney Plus. They could leave Disney Plus with the family-friendly MCU movies and family-friendly Marvel Legacy movies and all the other Disney stuff, and then Hulu can be where they put all the mature stuff.
Right.
Gotcha.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, that's pretty much for the Walt Disney live action stuff. Now, again,
outside of what we care about.
Outside of what we care about. Now let's get into the creme de la creme. This is Denzel's field.
Mm-hmm.
Lucasfilms have just dropped a huge bombshell of what is to come for Star Wars in the next coming years. Not only, we also got info on the Obi-Wan Kenobi series and, of course, the Bad Batch series. We also got announced some other shows like Willow, a Lando series, The Acolyte, A Droid Story, Star Wars Visions, Rangers of the New Republic, and my personal favorite, Ahsoka Tano is getting her first actual solo series.
Okay, first of all, before we go any further, when I first heard all this about the Star Wars, it was too much news in one day. We get an Ahsoka live action because she did a darn good job in Mandalorian. We get the Lando TV series. We get the Obi-Wan TV series with the prequel cast, Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, and the Bad Batch. Everything. I think they're going to course correct after, because fans is like The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, which I thought, in my opinion, were good. But it says, okay, fans, we heard you guys, so we'll
fix this.
Mandalorian now, so y'all guys love the Mandalorian, so we're going to course correct you guys and stuff. So what I'm thinking, what they're doing with the TV shows is brilliant. They're doing a Marvel route, in my opinion, but that's still a good thing for Star Wars. I'm really excited for it. I can't wait.
And what about you, Nick? I mean, Angelo. Oops, Angelo.
Oh, I don't know who y'all be talking to. No. So, truth be told, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. Like, I watch Star Wars because, it's another action movie, popcorn, But when I was younger was when the prequels came out, and I actually really liked my gosh, I always confuse their names. Please, YouTube.
I got you.
We got you. We got you, bro.
The last one. The last prequel before
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith. Thank you. So I've always liked that one because of Anakin being in the lava and yelling at Obi-Wan, and I always really like that scene for some reason, like their whole fight scene at the end. I always really like that. But I got into Star Wars with the sequel trilogy. So like Force Awakens. I was about to say Force Unleashed. With the Force Awakens, and with that kind of Rogue One, and this Disney crop of movies is when I kind of got into it. Mm-hmm. I think it's cool because for somebody like maybe for somebody like me who doesn't really know, and there's so much Star Wars content out there. So like unbelievably, like you have 9 movies, you have like series and series of seasons and seasons of different shows. You have The Mandalorian, which Jon Favreau has been killing it.
Yes.
Shout out to one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, Sasha Banks. She was.
I thought that was her. I thought that was. I said she was.
Yes, she was.
It was the 3rd episode of this past season.
Yep. I think so. Yeah.
She was one of the other Mandalorians, I believe.
Yes. Yeah.
So, Costco Reeves, I think was her name. I know this because I'm a Sasha Banks like Mark. So, yeah. But I think it's cool, like the fact that they're kind of filling in some of the blanks, because Revenge of the Sith and no, I'm sorry,
the new ones,
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi, okay.
And The Force Awakens takes place 30 years?
Yeah,
apart. Yeah. So I'm assuming some of this stuff is going to fill in that. Of course, that Obi-Wan series looks like it's going to fill in that. Some of the blanks of that 30 years, and The Mandalorian is filling in some of the blanks of that 30 years. So I think it's kind of cool for somebody like me to be able to go, okay, cool. I've watched these movies. Now let me look. Okay, cool. This is filling in. Okay, this is why this is happening in the future. Right. So who knows? I do know that people absolutely hate The Last Jedi.
It's understandable.
Yeah, I don't really have that much of emotional attachment to the series, so it's not like something that worries me on the inside. And look, The Rise of Skywalker, I'm the ultimate moviegoer. So look, at the end of the movie, I was bawling because it was just so cool. Like everybody was just tired and happy and hugging. I was like, not end of Endgame bawling, because I was bawling for 45 minutes.
That's totally different.
Like the last 10 minutes, I was like, oh, this is so this is cool. So it was cool. Like, I don't know. Like for me, like I'm saying, Star Wars is not like a deal breaker for me, but I am kind of excited to watch some of this stuff. I love Revenge of the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
So this Obi-Wan series, I'm definitely interested in. Kind of seeing Ewan McGregor return role is going to definitely be a culture shock for me. Because what's it been? That movie came out in 2006?
5. I think 2005? 2005?
Revenge of the Sith? Yeah, 2000. Yeah.
What? It's been 15 years?
Yeah.
Wow. I thought it was 2004.
Wow, I didn't expect that. So it's been 15 years since the movie since we've seen him in that role, and it's been 15 years since we've seen Hayden Christensen in that role of Anakin / Darth Vader. So it's dope. I'm excited.
And that's really great to hear, because for a regular casual, Star Wars fan person like yourself, people want to hear that. And for me, like I said, for me as a hardcore Star Wars fan, that's really great, exciting news too, because people who hated the prequels, to be honest, as a little kid, I loved the prequels, stuff like that. But when I got older, mature, I saw some flaws in the prequels. But George Lucas had a vision. He knew exactly what he was doing. Revenge of the Sith is the best out of prequels, in my opinion. He knew exactly where
he was.
I agree.
And especially where he was going, etc. Now, for the Disney people, like J.J. Abrams, stuff like that, it's not J.J. Abrams' fault. And Rian Johnson, listen, I personally, as a hardcore Star Wars fan, respect The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. I respect what they're doing, but to me, it didn't feel like they didn't know what they were doing.
They didn't have a plan.
Rian Johnson killed off Snoke. J.J. Abrams like, oh crap. So
how am I gonna fix this?
Let's put in Palpatine. Emperor Palpatine was he
was written.
Yeah.
Undo Last Jedi and make that and it makes sense, because like what?
Yeah, because they based it off a comic book that Palpatine, because he does return in a clone body and stuff like that, so they had to slick it out in a certain way. It was okay, but I enjoyed The Rise of Skywalker. It's a fun movie, great Star Wars movie. I don't think is it perfect? No, it's not perfect, but
absolutely not.
Yeah, but it could have been done. But I still enjoyed it though. It was better than half the prequel stuff, episodes 1 and 2, in my opinion. But but then I believe what Disney is doing is that they're going to fill in the gap with these TV shows, because Star Wars is a big, gigantic lore, it's a big universe, so you can explore that galaxy and this and that, and so Disney's going to fill that in and stuff. So with like the Mandalorian and Ahsoka and all these other Clone Wars TV shows, it's going to fill in the gap. What I would really love to see is Kylo Ren and Luke Skywalker growing up, because people are saying Sebastian Stan, who played the Winter Soldier, because he does look like Mark Hamill.
He could definitely be Mark Hamill's son.
Perfect at the same time. I believe that would really work, stuff like that. But I'm digging for what they're doing with the Star Wars TV show, so I'm up for it. So I forgive Disney for what they did for. But yeah.
Just a question, Denzel. Do you know what Willow is regarding Star Wars?
I heard it. I was watching it yesterday by Kathleen Kennedy. She said, I think it's an anime short about a girl in the Force or something like that. Based on, I don't know. Don't start me to lying, but I gotta look it up. But...
Gotcha.
Wait. I know what it is. It's with Warwick Davis. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, so this is short. So it's about the Warwick Davis. He's a short midget dude. I think they made a 1980s Star Wars TV show back then, and then it's going to be a mature version for him, 15 years, something like that. I didn't watch it when I was a little kid because those TV shows were terrible back then as a Star Wars kid. But yeah, that's what they're going after. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Also, bigger news, fans can be advised about this because the next feature film in Star Wars titled Rogue Squadron is going to be directed by Wonder Woman director Patty Jenkins.
That's going to be dope. And Rogue Squadron is based off the Nintendo 64 Star Wars game.
Yes.
Yeah. So, it's going to be female lead people in there, which I really love. And Patty Jenkins is amazing, in my opinion, what she did with Wonder Woman, amazing. So I'm glad that Star Wars is taking different directors, especially Marvel directors like Taika Waititi, and Patty Jenkins, and Jon Favreau, everyone being involved in Star Wars makes it a big universe. Because you have to understand the world of Star Wars. Like the guy, like Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, like when you watch the Mandalorian series and Dave Filoni, he's the one who made the Clone Wars. They understand the world of Star Wars. You can create different things with Star Wars, but respect the boundaries and you know what I'm saying. Understand, make the lore pleasable for us fans.
There you go. So, how do you feel about this, Angelo? About Patty Jenkins directing the next feature Star Wars film?
I think that's cool. Patty Jenkins. I think she did a great job with Wonder Woman. And I think, this and something we're going to talk about later when we get to the Marvel stuff is like just incredible, like just being able to like for, these women to show that like, look, we can make good, sometimes better movies than some of the people who are out here, and prove that these movies are for everyone and not just for one specific kind of person.
Right. There you go.
I am, so I'm excited for it. I adore Wonder Woman. I adore the first one. I think it's such a phenomenal film. Some people say it falls apart in the third act. I don't. I'm a big ass crybaby. So, spoiler alert. I mean, when she told Steve, I love you, or when Steve told her, I love you, I started crying because, like, he said, I love you. But this isn't a Wonder Woman conversation. But my point is, I adore the way that she directed that movie. I'm super excited for Wonder Woman 84. So I think she's a great director, and I'm excited for what she's going to do with the Star Wars IP.
Awesome. Now, Denzel, this actually can be directed towards you because apparently they also just announced another film for the Indiana Jones franchise, and this is going to be directed by James Mangold. I know you pretty much seen all the Indiana Jones films. How do you feel about them trying to, do another one despite, the reception that Kingdom of the Crystal Skull has received?
In my Indiana Jones Bible book, there's only 3 Indiana Jones films. Okay, the 4th one was just what the hell were y'all doing? What's it's an alien, and then this was happening. Like I don't know, but there's a different director, and this is going to be Harrison Ford's final movie. Look like Harrison Ford don't even give a darn anymore. I'm just here for the paycheck, and that's it.
He getting that money. That's all that matters.
Harrison Ford is the ultimate like. He is if I don't give a damn was a person. If I don't give a damn, just give me my coin was a person that is Harrison Ford. Look, They couldn't even get him back. I know they probably was going wanting him back for Rise of Skywalker. And I know
see his hair, he haircuts. Like, what? Okay, I'm in it for the money. I wonder how much money you paid him just to put him in that scene.
Just give me my check and I'm out.
Exactly.
The answer is no. Give me my money. Leave me the hell alone.
Exactly.
Oh man. So to move things a little bit forward, Disney has also announced some other things for their motion pictures stuff. For all you Hocus Pocus fans, Hocus Pocus is now getting a sequel, and it will be directed by Adam Shankman. So everyone knows around Halloween time, everyone starts getting into their vibe of Hocus Pocus. And granted, yes, I like the movie. I'm not saying it's one of my favorite Halloween movies. I don't think I even have a favorite Halloween movie. I still think it's a great movie. It's a classic, cult classic, by the way. And yeah, it was just fun. So the fact that they're actually deciding to make a sequel after all these years, it's saying something. How do you guys feel about this?
I have never seen Hocus Pocus in my life, so.
Oh boy.
What Denzel said, like, I ain't seen it. So.
What really caught my attention was Dalmatians and Cruella de Vil. Now, are they rebooting the 100 Dalmatians?
They are giving Cruella de Vil an
origin, right?
Yeah, kind of like how Maleficent had her own origin movie, and that was a big success. So I guess they're taking, the same route and doing it with Cruella de Vil. Granted, trust me, I have not watched 101 Dalmatian to this day. I have not watched it yet. So
I ain't watch Hocus Pocus, so I ain't.
So the fact that they're actually kind of doing this this kind of thing for Cruella's origin story, it does seem cool to do, because Disney did make 2 live action 101 Dalmatians. We had 101 Dalmatians and 102 Dalmatians. Yeah. So the fact that they're deciding to give Cruella her own origin movie, I think that's actually kind of good. How do you guys feel about this? Because given the praise that both Maleficent movies have received, do you think giving a Disney villain an origin movie is the right route to go with this?
Yeah, it could be possible. Like I said, with the success of what's the movie Mel? If I'm saying it. Thank you. Given how that movie was, I think with all the Disney villains, because villains are very interesting, and you can understand the world. If they do it right and very relatable, then it could work. So,
right.
I think the thing with Disney is, Disney will do something and then it'll become like uber successful, right?
Exactly.
And then they'll repeat the formula. It's the Marvel thing. They did Iron Man, Iron Man became uber successful, and then that just somehow turned into 23 movies and now countless series that we're going to get in the future, right?
Right.
I think, and then they're doing this with their live action recreations of these movies and with Maleficent and things like that. I think the one thing that Disney kind of does is they kind of just repeat formulas, to see if it works. And sometimes it doesn't. Like sometimes they hit, and sometimes they miss.
Right.
Beauty and the Beast was whatever, or Cinderella was okay. Lion King, some people like it, some people don't. So some of the live action movies have kind of been on gray area, like middle ground. Like some people like them, some people don't, some people are indifferent. And I kind of fall in the indifference for most of them, except for Lion King, because Beyonce's in Lion King and she did the album. So, but my point is, while it may have worked for Maleficent, and you have an actress like Angelina Jolie who is carrying the movies, and you have oh my gosh, what's her name?
Emma Stone. You have Emma Stone. She's going to be playing
Cruella.
Yes.
Okay. So you have Emma Stone, who is a great actress in her own right as well. So, I guess we have to see, is this direct to Disney Plus or is this theater?
They didn't say, but I think this may be just strictly to Disney Plus as well.
All right, I guess that makes sense. If it's a direct to Disney Plus thing, then then if it's for Disney Plus, then I think that it'll do fine.
Cool. All right, so to scroll down the list, they have a reboot going on of Cheaper by the Dozen. For you people who Cheaper by the Dozen has that 2 sequels with Hilary Duff and what's his name, Steve Martin. I wasn't.
They're doing it with black people. Wait, that's the Kenya Barris and Gabrielle Union.
Well, the reputation card has now been played.
Let's
do it. And of course, after that, they have a new sister act, which of course Whoopi Goldberg will be returning for, as it should be.
Sister act has been on I think E all weekend. So I think it's like Thursday night. Sister Act has just been playing on E. So that's funny.
Yep, and some other films that they have announced: a live-action hybrid of Chippendale Rescue Rangers, which is based off the old Chippendale cartoon from the late 80s, early 90s. Granted, I know Chippendale are not like the best well-known Disney characters. Just depends on who you ask. If you grew up with Chippendale, you know who Chippendale are. If you haven't, you have no idea who they are. And some live-action films that have been announced: a live-action remake of Pinocchio,
starring Tom Hanks, which is going to be great.
Yes, and Tom Hanks is going to be playing.
It's going to be great. So
yes, Tom Hanks is going to be playing Geppetto, which is going to be interesting. Now, granted, Pinocchio, when you sit down and actually watch it, it has some dark moments that you just can't believe that just flew over your mind. So I'm wondering how they're going to pull this off. Now, granted, when it comes to their live action remakes, they're either hit or miss.
Yeah.
Now, how do you, yes, they're very hit or miss. How do you guys feel about a Pinocchio remake?
I'm indifferent.
It could work.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very indifferent to it. Like, Marvel. I'm trying to move us ahead, right?
I know. I'm like, let's get to the Marvel.
Disney, they take gambles all the time. And let's be honest here. Disney Plus has done incredibly well in its first year, like off of one show, and that's The Mandalorian.
Yep.
Right? In a year where we got no Marvel content, we barely got any, content from anything else. We just were rewatching old stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So The Mandalorian has been killing it, right? So, they're creating more stuff for their, everything they're creating has an audience for it. So somebody will watch Pinocchio, even if it ain't me.
Yeah, it's for the children, just to shut the children. You want to watch Pinocchio? Here you go.
Absolutely.
Cash grab. Anything for a cash grab.
Look, they parked open. They need to get money somehow.
Oh, yeah. So that is true. The next live action remake is going to be titled Peter Pan and Wendy. So apparently you have Jude Law, who's going to be playing Captain Hook, and you have Yara Shahidi. She's going to be portraying Tinkerbell. Now, granted, I don't understand why they have the title just called Peter Pan and Wendy. Just call the movie just Peter Pan.
Well, we're also in an era where, there is, the women have started taking more prominence.
Correct.
There's more prominence on the roles that women are getting.
Correct.
And it's the same thing that we're seeing in Ant-Man and the Wasp. You could just have named it Ant-Man 2, but the Wasp is just as important, if not more important, to the plot of that movie.
Right.
Ant-Man is. So Wendy, of course, is just as important to the plot as Peter Pan is. So if this is a movie about Peter Pan and Wendy, then just name it Peter Pan and Wendy. With that being said, I'm excited to see my girl Yara Shahidi playing Tinkerbell. We're up in arms on Twitter about her playing a character that does not exist. But we are very excited. And we've already seen Jude Law play kind of a villain in Captain Marvel, and I think he did a good job.
Yes, you're right. Yes, we did.
I'm excited.
What about you, Denzel? How are you feeling on the Peter Pan and Wendy?
It is what it is. Same way.
All right. And another thing that's been announced, the sequel film for Enchanted is going to be called Disenchanted. And of course, Amy Adams is returning back to play her character Giselle. I didn't even know they were planning to do a sequel to that movie, but apparently, look, like I said, Disney's pulling out all the stops with this. Anything to get the cash going.
Yeah, for me, I'm just like, when did Enchanted come? I feel like Enchanted also came out in like 2005, 2006.
I think they came out in like 07.
Something,
07 or
It's been a good like 13, 14 years For me, this is like the Avatar syndrome. It's like, yeah, we're gonna do a sequel. Nobody wants it. Like,
exactly. It was like,
yeah, I mean,
we didn't ask for that.
we didn't ask for it. I feel like, you're just doing a sequel so that Endgame doesn't have the top thing. But let's be honest here. You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? Somebody cares. I'm just gonna be. Somebody cares. Like I said, everything that they're doing on Disney Plus, somebody is going to watch it.
Exactly.
I'm probably going to watch Disenchanted.
And then afterwards, someone's going to be complaining afterwards, like, this is not that, that sucked,
Look, and I may complain, I may hate it, just like
you're always gonna have the naysayers.
I may hate it, I may love it, but as far as I'm concerned, I mean, maybe it's a decade plus too late, maybe it's not. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, somebody in the world will love it.
Somebody's gonna like it. That's what I'm saying.
And some other things have been announced from 20th Century Fox. An animated take on Diary of a Wimpy Kid, which is interesting. A spin-off series to Ice Age. They're never gonna let that franchise do. Not a movie. This is a spin-off series. But again, they're gonna keep milking that. They're gonna milk that for sure.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, why wouldn't they milk that? And another Night of the Museum starring Simon Pegg. Now, I'm not sure if this is gonna be like a sequel or a remake. They did not say. Some other things that have been announced though.
Remake. I think a remake, you gotta wait like a good 20 years to do a remake.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got 3 of those Night at the Museum. So yeah, it's too early.
Yes. Recently, of course, originally, the film Jungle Cruise, which is based off the Disney ride Jungle Cruise, it was supposed to come out this year, but thanks to Corona, that got pushed to next year. And some other things that have been announced: a prequel to Lion King. I don't know why.
No, I don't think
they're going to milk the hell out of it. Let Mufasa rest. Let that rest.
Leave it alone. Like, leave it alone.
it's a good idea. They shouldn't do that.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
I don't look. If it does well, it does well. But leave that.
Leave it
in '94 on Broadway for 20. For what, like 20, almost
30 years.
Rest. Leave him alone. They resurrected him last year for Beyonce, and okay, leave him alone.
They're doing the end game. They reverse in time, bring him back.
Now, leave him alone. Let that man die.
Let him sleep. Let him sleep. Just let him sleep. And another thing that also has been announced. Well, we already knew since like last year they're doing a live action remake of The Little Mermaid, and the cast has been revealed. Of course, we already know Halle Bailey is going to be portraying Ariel. So the cast has been revealed as David Diggs is going to be Sebastian. You have Javier Bardem as King Triton, Jacob Tremblay as Flounder, Melissa McCarthy as Ursula.
Perfect cast.
Exactly. I was like, I could see that. I could definitely see that.
He fits that.
She could definitely do well with that. You have Jonah Hauer King as Prince Eric, and you have Aquafina as Scuttle. Now, regarding the whole Scuttle thing, I know people were throwing a huge hissy fit saying like, oh, wait a minute, Scuttle's a male. I'm like, look. When I went to see the show on Broadway, you had a female actress portraying Scuttle. Shut up and calm down, all right?
Oh.
In this day and age, anybody can play anybody.
Anybody can play it. Well.
Yeah, but I was about to say, not
anybody can play everybody. But if the character doesn't have direct ties to being a specific race or gender or
true
religion, then they can be played by anybody. But you ain't finna cast Chad. You ain't finna cast white boy Chad as T'Challa. You have an issue. But. Absolutely. In this day and age, like if it's not directly tied to their characterization in original whatever, then it doesn't matter. And also, Scuttle does not exist. Scuttle is not a real character. Scuttle is a fish with a human body.
That name.
Scuttle's. I forgot to correct. Scuttle was the seagull, the loud seagull.
Oh, I forgot.
Scuttle's he's a bird.
Let it go.
He's a bird.
Let it go.
Don't.
Bird. Look.
He's something. It's an animal.
Scuttle is a character that's not real.
Exactly. So next up, Disney has also announced their next film that they have planned for next year, and it's going to be premiere access, Raya and the Last Dragon. Of course, this film is going to be part of their premiere access, where you have to pay $30 to watch it. I'm not paying a cent. I'm already paying for the streaming service. You ain't getting another cent from me.
I don't see this doing well.
Really?
Like, Disney has always done well when it comes, like, if it was in the theaters, I could see it breaking even. It's a Disney movie, it's a children's movie, whatever, right? Now, the premiere access thing, it makes sense. You know, like, if I'm going to the movie theater, one ticket at the movie theater is what? You know, if I'm going to the nice movie theater in Manhattan, it's $17, like, give or take, right?
Right.
If two of us are going to the movie theater, like me and you, and usually when I go with my friends, like, I'll just buy the ticket or the tickets and whatnot. I'm spending $30, $40 on movie tickets, right? I've already, like, so I might as well just buy it premiere access and just watch it here, you know? Like, so premiere access doesn't not make sense, but you have to give me a reason to buy premiere access. Mulan? No. Last Dragon, I'm sure it'll be a great movie. I'm sure everybody who worked on it worked extremely hard on this movie, and you know, like, that's super dope. And you know, some of these people probably first time they ever worked on a movie. That's great, and I'm really happy for them. I'm not paying $30 to see that. If it was Black Widow, I'm paying $60.
Yeah, I may pay that. I'm just for
Black Widow. If it was a Marvel movie, like if it was that's why I'm saying if it was an IP that is already successful, makes sense, yes. If it's a Marvel movie, absolutely. Mulan, in theory, could have worked because, yeah, people know Mulan, but you know, then you go into, well, they should have did the movie that way, this way, whatever. That's an argument for a different, you know, live stream. But the point is, premiere access only works if it's an IP that people are willing to spend money on.
I agree.
Yeah,
I'm paying $69.99 a year, so I'm just gonna watch that for free. I'm not
you the yearly one.
Yeah,
so did I.
Yeah, no. So shout out to Verizon because I got it free.
All right.
Until this November, and now it's just on my Verizon bill. So when I pay my phone bill, I pay $6.99 for Disney Plus in my phone bill.
Look at this now. All right.
Thank you, Verizon.
Phenomenal. Thank you so much.
So moving on to the other things that have been announced.
I want to get to Marvel.
All right, we have increments. Things are done in increments. You gotta get through the stuff. Sometimes you gotta get through the boring stuff to get to the good stuff. It's like watching a movie or watching a TV show. Y'all know this.
Episodes of Netflix. Sorry, keep going.
This is like season 1 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. where like the first half of the season was like, all right, this is cool.
Right. So anyway, going on, Disney has announced an upcoming feature film called Encanto, and this, of course, will be worked on by Lin-Manuel Miranda, who you guys know, who've worked, you know, he's been on Hamilton, he's worked on Moana, he has a live action adaptation of In the Heights coming out, so the man has done it all. And of course, this is going to be taking, you know, a focus to the Colombian representation. Now, granted, when all this stuff has been announced, I found this very fascinating because Disney does love to give, you know, representation to every, you know, to every audience, you know, black, you know, for the black community, for the LGBT community, for, you know, for the Hispanic community. Now, the fact that they're having like a whole full feature-length film about it, right. I think this is great. This is really great. And some other things have been announced, like Baymax series coming to Disney Plus. Yeah. If you're a big fan of Big Hero 6, kudos to you.
First time I saw Big Hero 6 to the end was actually during quarantine, like back in June.
Really? What'd you think of it?
I adore that movie. It's so
Yeah.
good.
Another thing's been announced, Zootopia Plus. I don't know why they just put the plus in there,
Is
but
Plus gonna be on everything?
I
Like,
don't do, man. I don't know.
imagine we have CCC Plus. Like,
Don't get me started.
Start.
Don't get me started.
Don't even start.
We also have a Tiana series coming out. So representation to the Black community. Our first Disney Black princess, giving her full series. I'm with it.
Is this the live action one or this is the anime?
This is the animation.
Oh, okay,
hey,
okay.
We don't need a live action adaptation of Princess and the Frog. We don't.
Oh, okay.
We will. Really, I'm telling you, in 2025, we're gonna get it.
Yeah, eventually we're gonna get that. We're gonna go there, but at this point, right now, I don't want to see it. And to all you Moana fans, Moana is getting her own Disney Plus series. So
I'm definitely. Here's the thing: I adore Moana. I love that movie so much. That movie genuinely ministers to me on a spiritual level. I love that movie. Why do we need a series? I could see it depends on what they're doing. Like if the series is gonna follow her as a wayfinder after the movie, maybe like a year after the movie, and the series is just following. Maybe that's cool because I would love to kind of see more of her character growing, and it'd be cool. But do we need it? I mean, a series is fine. I think I'd be more annoyed if it was a sequel because I'm just like, why do we need a sequel? Like, what else?
Yeah, a sequel would have been nice.
But no, I'm saying a series might be better than a sequel because a sequel is just like at least with a series you could do 8 episodes of Moana as a Wayfinder, and they overcome this one thing, and then you have Maui do like a cool little cameo or return in the finale of the season or whatever. With a sequel, it's gonna seem weird if there's no Maui. It's gonna seem weird if it's like a different what else do you do in a sequel? So I'm excited for the Moana series. I just need for them to give me a reason to. I mean, I'm gonna watch it, but they need to give a reasoning as to why it's gonna be a great thing to see.
Awesome. What about you, Denzel? How you feel about Moana getting her own?
I have never seen Moana yet.
Boy.
Calm down. Even though I did say I was going to watch it, but then I think of something else. I have never seen Moana. So
literally, that's your homework. That's your homework assignment tonight. Watch Moana.
An hour or 45 minutes of time at any point in these next couple of days or weeks or whatever. Watch Moana. It is so good.
Okay.
Your homework assignment is to watch it and write a review.
Imagine.
Captain America, we had on that list of what to watch.
Exactly. Right. All right. Moving on from the Walt Disney Animation to another animated portion, Pixar. So Pixar have just announced a slew of some of their upcoming titles. For instance, another film they have is called Turning Red, and pretty much the premise of this movie is pretty much you have a girl who every time she gets excited she turns into a red panda, which is
okay.
I mean, that's just the concept. That's just the
like, what?
I mean, yeah,
that is so cute. like that's
I turn red.
Like that is so weird, but so this is the type of stuff that Pixar can get away with, and
yep,
so cute. I can't.
Only Pixar will come up with stuff like this. And another thing that was announced, and I am super happy about this, we are getting an origin story of Buzz Lightyear. Not the toy, but the actual person. So I'm the biggest Buzz Lightyear fanatic if you ever met me. I love Buzz Lightyear to death.
No, this is the first time I never even knew that you were this big of a fan of Buzz Lightyear.
Bro, Toy Story was my film. It's my film. I can quote that film from beginning to end.
So like Avengers is my film, Toy Story is yours.
Exactly. So the fact that we're getting like an origin film to Buzz Lightyear, I'm with it. And he's going to be voiced by Captain America himself, Chris Evans.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm excited for that.
That's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
And another thing that was announced, of course, another Pixar film called Luca. And Luca is basically a celebration of friendship between a boy named Luca and his best friend named Alberto during their unforgettable summer. And that will be releasing in theaters next year, in June 2021.
One thing I think Pixar really, really, really does well is emotions.
Yes.
So,
yes. Oh, yes.
Even
Sure do.
The first Toy Story to Monsters Inc. to Wall-E to oh my gosh, what's the one that literally is about emotions?
Inside Out.
Inside Out. Like I think Pixar is so good at just like giving you characters that really feed your emotions.
Yes.
And I'm really excited for like Pixar. I've loved Pixar for like as long as I can remember. So I'm excited for anything Pixar. With that being said, I have no clue like if I'm gonna even go to a theater in June 2021.
Hopefully Rona is dead by that time.
Look, but I mean, if it's on Disney Plus after that, I'm in there. Like
For sure. And of course, since Christmas is literally next week, we can look forward to Soul coming out on Christmas Day on Disney Plus. I'm actually looking forward to watching that movie just by seeing all the trailers, and the cast is predominantly black. Let's go.
Fox, Loretta Devine,
Felicia Rashad, Questlove. I was like, okay.
Love to see it.
I'm ready for this movie. I'm so ready. Now,
let's
get to the creme de la creme of this whole discussion here. Marvel has announced.
Wait. Jonathan, wait. Sorry. Really quickly, before you get into Marvel stuff.
Sure.
The only thing I want to say is the one thing that really would have gotten Pixar, like Disney Plus, like, oh my gosh, is if we got a continuation of Monsters Inc., not fucking Monsters University.
Funny enough, I'm actually glad that you mentioned that, because there is a Disney Plus series called Monsters at Work, and that was not mentioned at all during this whole, conference. But it is, in the works and everything, so I'm pretty sure they'll probably give some sort of announcement about it sometime next year. Please, hopefully, don't have us waiting high and dry for it, because I look, if you're giving us a sequel or continuation to Monsters Inc., I would like to see it, please.
Yes. Okay, we go to the good stuff now.
Yes, Marvel. Oh my gosh, Marvel. They really know how to just make us scream for joy in our bedrooms.
Bruh.
Best weekend ever.
Oh my gosh. Where do I begin?
Something for me to smile for in 2020.
Do we look at this? Just look at this game plan. Just look at this game plan of stuff that they have prepared. What the hell?
Secret Invasion, I'm really hyped for. Falcon and Winter Soldier, I'm hyped for. Thor, Blade, Eternals. I'm mostly hyped for half of every one of these TV shows. I mean, TV shows and movies.
Oh my gosh, I just can't believe it. I just can't believe it.
They announced that Black Widow will be going to theaters in May, and Shang-Chi and Eternals. I'm just very interested in like, okay, like, are you sure? Like,
what they should do, like what HBO Max is doing with Wonder Woman.
That's what I literally said the other day.
And The Man. So Disney Plus should do the same thing for Black Widow, because I've been waiting for Black Widow. Like, all right, release her damn movie right now. I'm
Black Widow on Premiere Access. I absolutely would have.
That's gonna make mad bread. So,
for sure, it'll make bread for sure.
Yeah, especially if in just in case of Corona, God forbid, if it still keep going on 2021. Yeah, please put all these movies on Disney Plus, please.
God forbid. God forbid.
I'm really excited for this slate. Like, just look at just this year alone, WandaVision in January, right?
Yep.
And WandaVision is giving very House of M, very early Wanda and Vision stories. In the trailer, it looks like she's pregnant. So, like, who knows what could possibly happen. That's like super exciting. And then right after WandaVision, we're getting Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
About time.
I cannot wait.
And these TV shows don't look like a TV show. It looks like film quality.
They just look like TV movies.
Yeah. And I'm just watching the trailer. It's like, yo, this looks high. Yeah, I'm just excited to see where Bucky and Falcon's going with Zemo being the main villain, of course, and stuff like that. But everything in that TV show looks fantastic.
And it's interesting because if you watch the movies, right, you never really get to see Bucky and Sam develop a friendship.
Mm.
They more so develop a tolerance to each other. Like in the war, they didn't like each other because they didn't trust each other, right?
Can you move your seat up?
Right, exactly.
No.
Of that movie. You know, like that they didn't trust each other. So, you know, Bucky clearly didn't trust himself, and Sam didn't trust Bucky. It's just like, you know, all the stuff that had happened. But then you kind of don't really see them on the screen together again until Infinity War. And Infinity War, there's so much stuff happening.
Right.
There's so much stuff happening that you really, you know, there's no relationship. You can't see that. And then in Endgame, you know, they're back in the last 45 minutes and they're just standing next to each other at, spoiler alert, you know, if you haven't seen it yet, at Tony Stark's funeral, you know, so that's it. So I'm excited to see how we see their friendship develop in basically after the big, like they both disappeared into thin air. They just fought a giant purple alien 5 years into the future after they were, you know,
left in limbo.
And their best friend is presumably dead to the world.
Mm-hmm.
They know that he's probably alive as an old man somewhere in his 90s, you know, whatever. But like, you know, so I'm very interested in that show.
One thing that really caught me off guard was Armor Wars. Now, for those of you who don't know what Armor Wars airs, it's pretty much an Iron Man storyline, and it's pretty much about what would happen if Tony's tech got into the wrong hands. So now what the MCU is doing with this, or Marvel Studios for that matter, this is going to be a focus show with Don Cheadle returning in the armor as a War Machine. So, again, a black man leading his own show. Let's go.
Look, let me just, okay. So now since we're at Marvel, speaking of black people, there's two things that I absolutely want to say. First of all, Ironheart.
Yes.
Ironheart are getting a Riri Williams on screen.
Yes.
I am so excited for that. Like, we are getting a young black woman on screen who's 15 years old. She goes to MIT for, you know, for me, seeing that, you know, that I just can't wait to see how many young black women are inspired by that.
Yes.
So not only that, right? We have, you know, that being led. We also have Monica Rambeau.
Yes.
Division.
Mm-hmm.
We have Iman Vellani, who will be leading Miss Marvel.
Yes.
Saying,
and the directors for Miss Marvel and everything is perfect.
It looks great. It looks great.
Before we started the live show, because I have a Captain Marvel hat. I'm so excited for Captain Marvel 2.
Yes.
And
it's being directed by a black chick too.
It's going to be directed by a black woman. Nia DaCosta is her name. I don't know if she pronounces it Nia or Nia, but Nia DaCosta. She also directed the Candyman remake that was supposed to release this year, but it's coming out next year.
Oh, really?
I am so excited. Like,
this is
like 2021, 2022, 2023, the years of the black women. Like, I know this is Marvel related, but we're getting a black Batwoman, which I cannot wait to see Javicia Leslie as Batwoman.
I only watched the show just for her.
I can't wait to see that. But, you know, to have a black woman directing Captain Marvel, which Captain Marvel, the movie itself, already had these, you know, YouTubers up in arms because of things that Brie Larson had said previous to the movie releasing, which were absolutely true. And she was revealing, she was like, listen, this is your truth. You need to get it together. Not only that, not only Brie Larson, I just adore her as a person, like legit, like I would give my life for Brie Larson. I love her to death. Like Brie Larson is just, I adore her. She, you know, is one of the most fantastic, just people, activists ever. Like, I love her. So for her to be in a movie directed by a black woman, you're gonna have Miss Marvel be in the movie. We have Monica Rambeau. I am so excited for Captain Marvel 2, and I'm just really mad that it's like 3 years from now.
I can wait. Look, if COVID had us waiting this long for Black Widow, I'm thinking like, you know what? I can wait. I can wait.
No.
I mean, I'll be impatient, but yeah, I can wait.
Look, I mean, one of the strongest Avengers. I mean, she got to have her due, you know?
Oh yes, for sure. Of course, we also got announced for Thor: Love and Thunder. Christian Bale is going to be in the film, which is excellent. Haley Steinfeld is going to be portraying Kate Bishop in the Hawkeye TV show, which is gonna be. She is getting her money. She's getting her money from Spider-Verse, and now she's getting her money from Hawkeye. She making moves. She really making moves.
Hawkeye. I adore Kate Bishop as a character. Like, I adore her. So to have her in like a show now, and Haley Steinfeld, I adore her as a person. So like to have her being Kate Bishop, like it's like perfect casting for me. So excited for that. Also, we do have to address What If, which I'm excited for. But What If is also Chadwick Boseman, who passed away in August. That's going to be his final appearance as T'Challa. So that's going to be like, I think it premieres this year, right? Like they're starting What If this year, or is it next year?
I think it's next year, sometime in the middle of next year.
Okay. Oh no, actually no, it's this summer. It's
perfect.
Yeah. I was just talking about this. Summer 2021. So that's going to be very interesting. Kind of how they present that episode. I wonder if they save that for like the finale, or just to kind of bookend the What If series, or if just do a limited series, or just at least to bookend season 1. With like kind of like a nice send off for T'Challa as a character, but also Chadwick, himself.
Right.
So that I'm really excited for. One thing I had addressed a couple days ago, Eternals.
Eternals is one of those movies that I'm not really all that excited for, but I am going to watch it. I'm just not too hyped up about it.
I'm really excited for the Eternals because the same thing what we said with Guardians of the Galaxy. Who in the world are they? And look what happened. Relatable. So with the Eternals, if I'm hoping I'm getting it right, they're like celestial beings, something like that, and the gods of the world, or something like that. It's like Greek mythology, but in Marvel superhero stuff.
Like old gods, new gods. Like
yeah. So that's something I really want to see. And the cast look great, and yeah, that's the one I wanted to see. But thanks to COVID, it was delayed for this year.
So my thing with Eternals. Is we don't know anything about Eternals. We only know the cast.
Exactly. We just strictly know the cast.
We don't know anything about this movie. So it's the biggest wild card that Marvel has done since Guardians of the Galaxy. Because at least in the trailers, we haven't gotten a trailer for Eternals. We haven't gotten anything for Eternals. We've gotten Jack for Eternals, Right. So like, at least with Guardians, of course, there wasn't a global pandemic for Guardians at the time. So like we could get trailers and we at least knew that the movie was going to be a funny, take on these characters, right? Or a more comedic approach to these characters. But Eternals, we know nothing about it. So it's really a wild card when it comes to Marvel. Also, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
The first horror of Marvel. And it's connected to WandaVision in some way.
It's connected to WandaVision, but of course they couldn't really talk about this movie because it's not a Disney movie, but it's also connected to Spider-Man 3.
Which is interesting.
At this point, we basically know the entire cast of Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, okay, let me put my theories out. Okay, before you go any further. Now,
go ahead, because I got some things to say about Spider-Man 3.
I was watching Spider-Man Far From Home, and Mysterio says, there's a multiverse, and he said it was a joke, but Spider-Man actually thought it was really true. So, with Tom Holland, knowing how exposure he is, we heard rumors that Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, are rumored in the movie, and Alfred Molina, which I'm so freaking hype, is Doc Ock. So, and we got J. Jonah Jameson and J.K. Simmons in the Spider-Man, universe. So, if they're doing a multiverse and Doctor Strange is going to be Spider-Man's mentor, it could be a lot of stuff that they could slick out and put inside the Marvel universe, man. I mean, come on now, I got a lot of theories for it, but what's your thoughts about that? Is it true, or is it like,
here's my thing regarding Spider-Man 3, because when this movie was even, in the, whole production phase and all the news was coming out and all the rumors, I'm like, okay. And then once they said, oh, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are coming back, I'm like, all right, hold on. We already got an animated Spider-Verse movie. Don't just jump on ahead and do a live action, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Granted, yes, people love Tobey, and I know Andrew Garfield has an audience as well. Now, I just feel like, and I know this is also portion of Sony, I just feel like they have a lot riding on this. And this movie, again, this could go two ways. It can go up or it can go down.
It's definitely going to go up.
It could definitely, most definitely go up. Now, it's just how they do it, how the writing is going to go, how the story and the plot detailing is going to be. You have to do this the right way, because if you just, I know. But here's the thing, though. When it comes to doing stuff like this, it tends to be like fan service. Now, like the Endgame final battle, that was a mixture of fan service and a culmination of 10 years of storytelling. Mm-hmm. This is different. This is not like Endgame. So I'm pretty much, my expectations are very low on this, because I know Sony has been trying to do like a Sinister Six live action for some time now, and they have a lot riding on this. That's all I have to say.
Because they have a lot riding on this, I think that Sony is going to lean a little bit more on Marvel. Because look, we can't even deny it at this point. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is the highest grossing franchise of all time.
Yep.
Only second to, I think, the Harry Potter movies, right? Mm-hmm. And it was 7 of those. There's 23 Marvel movies, So, I think a lot of people would be smart. Now, look, maybe Sony and whoever's the head of Sony, maybe their egos will not allow them to go to Marvel really for help. Just produce the movie, blah, 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 whatever, cool. I think that because Sony has so much riding on this movie, like, if this movie does not do well, I think it's over for Sony and Spider-Man. In all seriousness, if this movie, Sony needs $1 billion movie. Sony is this close to being sold to Apple? Because I know Apple was trying to buy Sony Pictures. So I think it was like last year, I definitely read up Apple trying to buy Sony Pictures and add it to like the Apple TV Plus and whatever. My point is, Spider-Man Far From Home was Sony's biggest success story. Their first $1 billion movie, like it's a huge success for them, right?
Right.
If this movie does not do at least that same $1.1 billion or more, because at this point, with everything in it, I'm expecting it to be a $2 billion film. I'm expecting this movie to be a $2 billion film because you're bringing literally everybody back.
Right.
This movie needs to be a $2 billion film or nothing. I think that Sony right now is working with Marvel, but also they're in this kind of spare no expense mode where it's just like, look, we need to make sure that this Spider-Man 3 is better than the last Spider-Man 3. We need to make sure that this Spider-Man 3 is better than what the Amazing Spider-Man 3 would have been. We need to make sure that this Spider-Man 3 doesn't put us under. Because if this Spider-Man 3 does not do well, Marvel's not taking any of the blame for that. Mm-hmm. It's all going to Sony.
Oh, yes.
And Sony loses money. Sony ends up getting bought out by somebody, and then they lose Spider-Man for good. Because once Sony gets purchased, the Spider-Man rights revert back to Marvel. So...
Is that the plan?
No. That's, I think, a contract term.
Oh.
If Sony is purchased, then the Marvel character, then like whatever Marvel characters they own,
go straight to Disney.
And back to Disney. So Sony legit does not want that to happen. As we saw last August when they pulled Spider-Man from, Disney, and it was a wrap, right?
Oh man, you just reminded me of that fiasco.
A month. We all went through it for a month. Okay, so look,
hated that fiasco.
I bring that up to say, like, if that, Sony doesn't want that to happen again. Neither does Marvel. So they both want this movie to do really well.
Right.
If the movie does really well, Sony continues to play ball, Marvel continues to play ball, and everything continues to go well. That's it. So Spider-Man 3 has to do good. So I think that they're going to pull out all the stops for this movie, and even if the writing isn't that great, they'll at least do $2 billion off of fan service alone.
Yes, and I mean, just to coincide to the Sony discussion, because like you said, Sony hasn't really had a $1 billion movie since Far From Home. And granted, Venom was like their last full-on movie, and that made 800. Yeah, it wasn't. It made 156.1 million at the box office worldwide. Mm-hmm. Now, regarding Spider-Man 3, all we know is that this could potentially be the Sinister Six movie that we've been hoping for. We got Jamie Foxx in here. That's Electro. We got Doc Ock. Hopefully, we got Mysterio in here. We also got hopefully we're supposed to get Quentin back, Mysterio back in this film with Jake Gyllenhaal, and hopefully we also get Michael Keaton's Vulture in there. That's like right around, that's what, like 4 villains we have confirmed so far. Mm-hmm. We gotta bring, so they gotta do something to try to bring it. Oh yeah, Scorpion. So okay, so there you go. That's 5. So they gotta do something to make bring in their one villain, unless they might make it Venom or not. Yeah. Whatever the case may be, they gotta do something.
I just can't wait for live action Miles Morales. That's
this year was certainly the year for Miles Morales for sure.
Now, if you play the game, don't spoil it for me because I didn't play it yet. So.
Oh, you haven't played it yet?
Oh, you haven't played? I mean, I didn't play the game. I just watched.
I'm playing Christmas Day. I'll be live streaming on that day. So,
no spoilers because I don't do that. But I will tell you that the ending is going to make you cry.
Oh yes.
After the main story is over, that's going to make you cry worse.
Okay, will it make describe the cry? Will it make you cry like when Spider-Man's aunt died in the video game cry, or a little bit worse?
No, it's more of like it's a cry. It's like a sad cry, but also like a prideful, like this is like representation on 10. Like I'm telling you, the end of this movie, there's a scene where Miles stands up, and that is the moment. And I was like,
it's
like that's my Spider-Man right there. And then the ugly, like sad, like Aunt May died cry is there's a mission after the main story. That is where you're gonna do that.
Well, you'll see my reaction on live streaming on that day. So, you'll see.
Yeah. It's like video games are like the next movie storytelling plot device.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, never underestimate video games. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest surprise here. Actually, 2 of these surprises. Secret Invasion is going to be a TV series, not a film. Granted, I was hoping for a Secret Invasion movie, Avengers Secret Invasion, because I love that story. That's pretty much, it's a can't trust nobody kind of story arc, who's who. It's like, we're being infiltrated from the inside, and it's just a story full of espionage, betrayal, and deceit. Now, the fact that they're deciding to do a TV series of this, how do you feel about that? Angelo, let's start with you.
So, I remember Captain Marvel, of course, introduced the Skrulls to the MCU, and Captain Marvel threw us this curveball. At least good part of the Skrulls are good, but or at least
civilized.
Are civilized Skrulls, and they just wanted a home and things like that. So that was very interesting to me, and I really do enjoy that twist because everybody expects the Skrulls to kind of be these really, really evil villains, and then and even though Marvel, you can kind of see it's kind of telegraphed from the beginning, but regardless, like they throw us this curveball, right? And then in Far From Home, we see that Nick Fury and Maria Hill were Talos and Soren the entire time.
Yeah,
I figured it out by the end of.
I did not see that coming.
So I think it was when Happy and Fury were talking, and one of them said, I think it was Fury said, appearances can be deceiving. I was like.
And Nick Fury was like, Spider-Man's like, Nick Fury wouldn't say that. I mean, he'll scream at you, but he wouldn't talk like that.
But the thing is, you didn't think about it. You just kind of thought, okay, being like weird. But there's certain things that Fury, like we've seen Fury for how many movies now? There's certain things that Fury would say, certain things that he wouldn't say.
Right.
Said that, I'm like, okay, 3 months after Captain Marvel came out, you're a Skrull. So at the second post-credit scene, when you see them kind of transform into Talos and Soren, I was like, I knew it. They're Skrulls. And we see Fury out in space with the rest of the Skrulls and Sword. And
yes,
I had mentioned this a couple days ago that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ended back in August.
Mm-hmm.
There were rumors that we were going to get an Agents of Sword series with Daisy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
With Chloe Bennett playing Daisy Johnson, which she should be the only person that ever plays Daisy Johnson.
Of course.
Period. But I'm like, okay, cool. That would be cool if they kind of like intertwine and meet each other and something like that, right? But now, seeing that we're getting a Secret Invasion show, I think that this is going to lead to our Avengers 4.
Okay.
Because you could do a Secret Invasion television show,
right?
And it could be like an 8-episode series where you see the Skrulls secretly invading Earth, and certain Skrulls secretly killing this one and secretly killing that one, and this, that, and fourth, and all this stuff happening, right? And then we get our Skrull, and then we get our Avengers 4, where now we have to reunite the Avengers and some new Avengers to stop the Skrulls, right? Or this could lead into, Jonathan, you look. This could lead into this.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
We don't know. We don't know, and
anything is possible.
I'm enjoying the fact that we don't know anything other than the fact that we're getting Ben Mendelsohn as Talos and Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury returning. I'm also really intrigued about one other thing, and that goes for a lot of the series that are coming now. How they're going to handle the 5 years, right?
That's a good question.
Because, we kind of saw a little bit of what the 5 years were like, when Scott came out of the that's another thing we have to talk about.
Oh yes, I literally just pulled that up. Like, we gotta talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Mania.
Because it leads into
Fantastic Four.
So we saw Scott when he comes out of the quantum realm, right, at the beginning of the movie, and we kind of see a little bit of how Earth is, but not really. I really want to know how WandaVision and especially Falcon and the Winter Soldier are going to address the 5 years. Like, did Zemo escape in those 5 years? Was Zemo dust? What the hell happened? Where is Sharon Carter?
Yeah, they might cover that.
I'm so excited to see how they talk about these last 5 years, and because all of these shows pretty much take place in what, 2023, 2020, because Far From Home takes place in what, 2024 or
2023, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, Endgame technically takes place in October of 2023. I don't know. So, like, if it's in the summertime, whatever.
It's 2025. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 5 years in the future. 5 years in the future. I wonder how they're gonna kind of look at all that.
Yeah, but I think all the TV shows is going to. That's why they're saying you have to watch the shows before you get into the film first. Because imagine
how I love how they just giving us. They're basically giving us homework.
I think the TV shows would dive in deep in details of what's going on during that year with each hero. So by the time when the movie comes out, you're like, okay, during this year, this, that. Yeah, Marvel has a way of slicking out certain ways and things. So they know how to grab on. Even for audience, like I said, who never watch a TV show or in the movies, they might catch up with them and inform them a little.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
To speak about Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantum Mania. Now, the cool thing about this, we got everybody coming back. Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, Michael Douglas, Michelle Pfeiffer. They're all returning back as their respective characters. We have Jonathan. Yes, we got Jonathan Majors, who's going to be portraying Kang, and we also got announced the casting of Catherine Newton as Cassie Lang. So maybe Cassie's gonna actually get some action here as Stature, maybe, because we pretty much are forming up our young Avengers here just by the lineup alone.
Yeah, I mean, that's the same actress that we saw in Endgame, right?
I'm not. Let me see.
Yeah, I believe it is because she looks the same.
I just got. Let me check. Don't quote me on that. Nope. No, it's not. It's totally different. Totally different actress.
Interesting.
So she must be a little older.
Yeah, she must. Yeah,
That's interesting.
She's very young. She's a young actress, though. But we'll see how they can play it out, though.
Yeah, interesting.
The fact that they're introducing Kang in this movie, which I'm pretty sure Kang is going to be the next Avengers central threat for this phase, and of course, Kang also has a run-in with the Fantastic Four from time to time. And speaking of the Fantastic Four.
Well, technically, a person of Kang is a ancestor of Reed Richards.
Oh, yes.
Nathaniel Richards, yeah.
Yes, he is.
From the 34th century.
There's like a whole council of Reed Richards, kind of like the Council of Wells in The Flash.
Well, I'm just mind blown just for that information. What? Okay.
Yeah. That's the thing with the Fantastic Four. They are a lot of people don't think the Fantastic Four are very cosmic centric. They are space explorers. They are, travelers. They like to discover and seek things. That's pretty much what they do. And these past, of course, movies that Fox have done, they have barely scratched the surface of what the Fantastic Four can do. Granted, that last film makes the 2000 movies look like masterpieces.
That last film is sin in my eyes. It was on Disney Plus. And I was like, why did they stream this on Disney Plus?
Heck, why did they put that Fantastic Four movie on Disney Plus first before the others? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, like I said, like you said, the 2005 Fantastic Four is way better. And he still didn't get Dr. Doom right. So
they still can never get Dr. Doom right. So hopefully, I'm praying with this movie that they can definitely get it right. You have John Watts, who directed Spider-Man Homecoming, is directing this film. It all comes down to, getting to what the Fantastic Four is really about. Because granted, for all you comic book nerds out there, the Fantastic Four was Stan Lee's first creations, and they're like they were the first bread and butter to put Marvel on the map. So the fact that they haven't really got their just desserts yet, that's a kind of a problem. So with this film coming out, we as fans expect, get the proper etiquette, the proper storytelling down to a T.
And they're called Fantastic Four, not Whacktastic Four,
not fan four stick, whatever.
Fantastic. There's got to be something fantastic in this movie. So I hope this Marvel Studios, it's Kevin Feige, so it's going to be a darn great job. So I can't wait to see that.
At this point, I think the entire world knows how I feel about Fan Four Stick.
We do not talk about it. So that it shall not be named.
I despise that movie. Like that movie hurts to watch.
Yes.
It sucks because damn, out of the 3 tries, we have gotten 0 good versions of the Fantastic Four, not in the Roger Corman. And what's crazy is that the Roger Corman version in the 90s is the best version of the Fantastic Four.
And I have yet to watch that version.
And it was BS. Watch it's they're literally the best versions of Fantastic Four made on live action.
I'll check it out.
It was a rights grab. It was a cheap movie made just to retain the rights.
Right.
The Roger Corman movies, the Tim Story movies, which in 2005 were good movies. In 2020, no.
Exactly.
And the Josh Trank audacity, the audacity he had to make that movie, like
just wow. And it's to make it look so rich and dynamic, like, oh, this looks like it's gonna be a new game changer. But no, it's just talking, boring science. So it didn't do no action until the 3rd act of the movie. And the action was just short and boring. And Dr. Doom just looks
right? Fox.
Not really. Fox can barely get anything right.
Because let's be honest here. I think we should have all known that Fox would get things wrong when they got Deadpool wrong out of all things. Like, what the hell was that?
At least they fixed it a little bit.
At least they fixed it, but Fox has never loved the superhero movies, especially under their former head of Fox Studios. I forget his name, Tom Rothman or something like that. He was one of the people instrumental in making X-Men: The Last Stand one of the worst comic book movies ever. X-Men Origins, Wolverine, one of the worst movies ever. He signed the Josh Trank version of the Fantastic Four.
Great.
So, I trust Marvel. I think if one thing that I know Marvel knows how to do is Marvel knows how to make interesting characters. They always make their characters interesting, and they always respect the comic books.
Yes.
And I'm really excited for who I forget the woman's name who does the casting. I think her name is Sarah Finn or something like that. She does phenomenal casting, and I cannot wait to see who she casts as Fantastic Four. Now, I was saying on my show a couple days ago, which the audio is going to release in a few days, that if they do not release this movie on 4/4/2024, it is the biggest missed opportunity ever.
April 4th, 2024.
It's the biggest missed opportunity. I'm like, this movie is at least 3 to 4 years in the future. It's definitely not like we have so much content we're getting in the next 2 years. It's definitely not coming by 2022, but 2024 makes the most sense. Give us Fantastic Four by April 4th, 2024 should be the date that Fantastic Four releases. And all I'm at Kevin. All I'm asking is for 3% of the back end.
3%?
2%. I'll take 2%. Because you know that movie's gonna make like $2 billion. You know a Fantastic Four movie by Marvel is gonna do $2 billion.
Of course.
So I just want $2 million. That's all I want. Kevin, you don't have to put me in the credits.
I think Disney should hire us.
all you gotta do, just send me the NDA. I will put my bank account number on whatever. All you have to do is on 4/4/2024. Just bank. That's it.
And that's a Thursday.
That's a third.
Yeah, I just checked.
Did you really just check that?
4/4 is a Thursday.
This man didn't really check the calendar. Fast forward.
Isn't that perfect? Because Thursday nights are when movies release anyway.
What coincidence? I think not.
Fantastic.
Kevin. Call me.
Yo, Kevin Feige, call us up if you're watching this, man. Call us up. Call us up, please.
Yeah.
But honestly, that's pretty much this whole lineup because look, that Thursday night just had me squealing, jumping for joy, just excited.
On Facebook that was like Disney social media manager after all these notes, and it was like the person just like this, like
I'm done.
Absolutely. Because it was like every minute it was something new for 30 minutes.
Yeah, which was like, oh, best.
And it's like I have Marvel Studios like their tweets like send me notifications when they tweet, and I've had this on since like I think 2 years ago from when they were doing like the Endgame tickets. We didn't know what Endgame tickets were going up,
right?
So it was like bling, 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 bling every 5 seconds. And I'm scrolling like, oh my God, okay. Oh my God, more.
We all have pan tags like, oh, that's coming out. Oh, that's
right. Exactly.
It's just a gold mine of stuff. Now, granted,
one more. Sorry to interrupt. I'm just waiting for one more Marvel announcement. And that's the X-Men.
You know what? The Eternals are, responsible for the X-Men or partially responsible for the X-Men in the comics.
Okay.
So I think now someone had brought this up that in Captain Marvel 2, we get Rogue and Mystique.
Ooh, okay.
Rogue is
you're right, because Rogue does encounter Carol during her Miss Marvel.
And that is how Rogue gets her powers.
You're right.
So it's the flying and the
super strength and everything.
So Rogue wasn't born with mutant power. She
was born with the mutant power to take other people's powers, right? But the way she got the ability to fly and the super strength and the laser beams and all that, she got that from Carol.
All of that was from Carol.
Yeah, she got to the point where she took some of Carol's power, like so Carol, now how she's like one of the most powerful Avengers, whatever, like literally a freaking bomb, a walking bomb, right? But she not only did she take some of Carol's power, she like drained some of Carol's power.
Wow.
So that's how Rogue became like the Rogue that you see in like the animated series and like the comics and stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, yo, that's gonna be so dope seeing it on the big screen. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think Rogue maybe makes an introduction in the Captain Marvel movie, kind of to give Carol a bigger hurdle to jump over.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So, wow. And one missed opportunity, since Chadwick Boseman passed away, and Kevin Feige says he will not replace
thank God.
Yeah, I knew they weren't gonna do that though.
But the missed opportunity, I just want to see T'Challa and Storm.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, that is quite a missed opportunity.
But do you think? I think they could, out of respect, because they recasted people before, like Terrence Howard and Don Cheadle.
That was different.
I know for money purposes. I know, but I think. Do you think someone else can play T'Challa? Yeah. They could. I know, but
I think and it just speaks to the way that Black Panther impacted the culture,
right?
Back in 2018, like. It's similar to how kind of people like, let's say, let's say back when Spider-Man 3 was supposed to come out, Tobey Maguire passed away, right? Mm-hmm. It would be similar because then it's just like, now granted, I'm sure Sony would have still went ahead and recasted Spider-Man anyway, right. But it's almost like, people have this nostalgia-driven, love for Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man and can't stand to see anybody else as Spider-Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is not nostalgia driven, obviously, because it came out 2 years ago, but it's culture driven.
Yes.
Chadwick was the legit epitome of somebody who would play a king on this.
And not only just a king, just Black icons, period.
Right. He has transcended, what the superhero is. So, for example, I'm gonna use a wrestling term, right? Now I don't like this man. But Hulk Hogan, right?
Uh-huh.
Hulk Hogan was a wrestling superstar.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, better yet, not Hulk Hogan, The Rock.
Okay.
Perfect example. There are generations of people who know The Rock for kicking candy asses, and it doesn't matter what your name is, and rock bottoms, and the
smell what The Rock is cooking.
You smell what The Rock is cooking. There's generations of people who know The Rock as that.
Right.
And there's generations of kids who know The Rock as Maui.
Yeah.
The Rock has transcended the wrestling business.
Right.
The Rock is a superstar that is so much more than he was in 2001 when he main evented WrestleMania 17 with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now he is the biggest movie star of all time, right? The most highest paid movie star of all time.
Yeah.
Chadwick. Now, of course, different circumstances, but Chadwick has transcended just being a movie star, and he has legitimately become an icon for Black culture.
Right.
He can never be recasted for me.
Yeah.
Maybe 15 years in the future when they reboot the whole entire MCU.
I think it shouldn't.
Whatever. But today, no. Tomorrow, hell no.
Yeah.
Give it a decade or two.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 decades.
Yeah. 2 decades, and then decide on who you want to have as your next Black Panther.
Yeah. I agree. Okay.
But anyway, with all the stuff that Disney has, brought out yesterday, I guess just a little recap. Denzel, since you're the Star Wars guy here, what are you mostly looking forward to for the Star Wars portion of these announcements?
I'm looking forward to Kenobi, because I want to find out the aftermath of what Kenobi's been up to, and we might see a little kid Luke Skywalker running around Tatooine somewhere, babysitting him, and Darth Vader and stuff, Hayden Christensen. Ahsoka, I'm mostly excited for, because Ahsoka's my girl, and she's been killing the Clone Wars. And what's her name? Who played
Rosario Dawson?
Thank you. She did a darn great job for her in The Mandalorian. I can't wait to see that.
Sure did.
And they hinted Thrawn. If you Star Wars fans know who Thrawn is, he's the evil, blue-faced, red, eye guy. And they were saying Benedict Cumberbatch may play Thrawn. So
now I can't wait to watch Rebels next year, because now that I finished Clone Wars, I'm like, I can't wait to start Rebels.
You know what? There is one thing we didn't talk about when it comes to Marvel, and sorry to kind of backtrack. We didn't talk about She-Hulk.
Oh, shoot.
Abomination. I'm excited for
Abomination is
Abomination's coming back.
Mark Ruffalo is, of course, going to be the Hulk.
Right.
We have She-Hulk, but I don't know if you guys saw. Kevin Feige did say we may be seeing a certain lawyer in She-Hulk. And I go back to what I was saying before, where the rights for Daredevil have reverted back to Disney.
Praise the Lord.
So we could possibly, now I don't think we get it for another year or two.
Right.
We could possibly be getting a Daredevil season 4 finally on Hulu. And
okay.
I'm excited for that. You know, there's so many of the stars of the show that were behind the Save Daredevil movement. Charlie Cox himself, who played Matt Murdock, Vincent D'Onofrio, who has been incredibly
the best Kingpin performance I've ever seen.
Absolutely. And I'm just like, Vincent D'Onofrio and Tom Holland have to meet at some point.
For sure.
I think they are.
But you know, Vincent D'Onofrio, Deborah Ann Woll, like all of these people have been super behind this Save Daredevil campaign. So I think we get Daredevil reintroduced in Spider-Man 3.
And he's gonna have his own film.
He's gonna need that lawyer. He's gonna need that lawyer.
I don't know about a movie. I don't know if I would do a Daredevil movie, but I would definitely continue the series. I think Daredevil works better in a series than a movie. But with that being said, yeah, that's the one thing we didn't talk about. But Denzel, you can continue. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's been marvelous news, stuff like that. Oh, speaking of Marvel, the most least known hero that nobody don't even know his power is Moon Knight.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Forgot about Moon Knight. Wow.
Yeah. See how we just quite like what's his powers? What's his yeah. Y'all probably know as much as I but that's what I want to see. Okay, now back to Star Wars. Okay, that's the only two I'm excited for. Ahsoka, I'm hoping they make it Mandalorian season 3 and Kenobi. And all that is Rogue Squadron, all that. Anything that's Star Wars, I'm excited for.
Nick, I'm not gonna get this right. Angelo Carter, my man.
Is this everything or just Star Wars?
No, this is this is strictly for Marvel. What are you looking for? Since I know you're the Marvel guy here.
Well, honestly, I'm looking forward to everything. If I had to pick a few things, definitely Captain Marvel 2. I'm so excited to see what Nia DaCosta does with the character. I'm looking forward to the Miss Marvel television show. You know, if you played the Avengers video game, you know, for all the things that it gets wrong, video game wise, I think the thing it gets right is Kamala Khan's characterization.
Oh yes, and, from what I've seen, yes.
You know, I am really excited to see Iman, you know, give us our first ever live action version of Captain Marvel. Like I said, I adore Kate Bishop as a character. I can't wait for Kate Bishop. Everything that we're getting in 2021, I'm really excited for. Of course, Fantastic Four. Like, the only thing I ask is John Krasinski and Emily Blunt.
Everybody's gonna say that. As Reed and Sue.
And Invisible Woman.
That'll be perfect.
And, you know, maybe John Cena can play the Thing. I don't hate that idea. It would be kind of funny. But that's all I ask. But yeah, I'm excited for everything. Marvel has consistently proven that they know what they are doing. Kevin Feige has consistently proven that he loves these characters. He adores these characters, and he is so willing to get these characters right. And I am so happy and ready for everything Marvel is doing in 2021, 2022. Yeah, I'm excited for everything. It doesn't matter.
That makes perfect sense. I mean, to be honest, I'm really looking forward to anything. Heck, I could say I'm really, really looking forward to Armor Wars, because the fact that, you know, Don Cheadle is going to be heading his own series, that's incredible. I can't wait for that. Someone asked who is supposed to be playing Riri Williams. I forgot. What
Dominique Thorne is her name.
Dominique Thorne, you said?
Yes, Dominique Thorne.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, yes, they did. Yeah, because they did announce the casting on Twitter. But anyway, guys, that is pretty much everything. Thank you guys so much for being here. And, of course, thank you to my gracious guests for taking the time out of your schedules to be here. Angelo Carter, where can everybody find you? This is your chance to plug your socials and any other projects you're a part of.
Well, you can find me on Instagram at Who's Angelo Carter. You can find me on Twitter at The Angelo Carter. Here is a parental advisory warning. I'm not for the politically correct on Twitter. I cuss a lot. So if you like that, go follow me on Twitter. Like, I'm fun. I'm very fun on Twitter, I promise. You can also keep a lookout on everywhere podcasts can be listened to. Should be going up this week. I am bringing back Heroes Unplugged, which was my podcast about all things, superhero, pop culture, blah, 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 whatever. Me and my brand new co-host, Gavin, we will be talking about this exact thing, Disney Investor Day, but we're going to be going more in depth on Marvel stuff. So that should be out around Tuesday. It's called Heroes Unplugged Podcast. You should be able to find it on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, all of that. Yeah, that's me. That's where you can find me. Like I said, I'm the icon, the Don, the legend, the cult of personality, Mr. Money and Magic, pro wrestling extraordinaire. Yeah, I'm a pro wrestler too, so that's nice.
Up and coming pro wrestler, and I hope to get tickets.
Money.
I feel like you will probably make me a wrestling fan as long as you get me tickets to stuff early.
You should become a wrestling fan just because I'm a wrestler.
Let's not.
All right. Denzel, my man, where can everybody find you?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys and girls can find me on my YouTube channel, Denzel B. Wren, and you can follow me on Instagram, Denzel B. Wren 1138. On my YouTube channel, I do reaction videos. I talk about Marvel, superheroes, video games, etc. I just nerd out on that channel, and you guys and girls can tell me which videos to react to, and I can do that. And also, I'll be having a future gaming channel pretty soon, so check that out. Christmas week. Christmas is gonna be the best day. Woohoo! Yeah, that's it.
Shout out to the person who caught my CM Punk reference.
Hey. And as always, guys, you guys can find me on all my socials. Thank you guys so much for being here, and of course, thank you guys, to my guests for taking the time out of your schedules for being here. As always, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and click that bell to be notified for any new upload and live stream. And as always, I am Vengeance, I am Darkness, I am Blackwing. Stay golden, Blackwing out.